So today I think I want to go back a little bit. I'm feeling a little bit nostalgic about the days when I used to play Magic the Gathering. When did I start? I started during the era of Revised, aka 3rd edition. The expansions that were on sale at the time were the Dark, Ice Age, and Fallen Empires. But my first Revised starter came out with the when the Dark was on sale. So I want to talk about the time that I entered some weekly tournaments at the local store. So the shop at the time that I went to was called Mishra's Game Factory. Yes, named after that Mishra. I've gotten some cards, got a deck, and I was visiting the shop enough times that I was starting to feel comfortable with entering those weekly tournaments. At the time, there wasn't a lot of like information online about like the meta, but there were the Duelist magazines, and the Duelist magazines often had like tournament reports, and there was also the internet news groups, the Usenet news groups, if you're familiar with those at the time. Those days, I think my go-to deck was red green. You know, it's a cheap way to get a decently competitive deck. Gets the job done. You don't need a lot of expensive or rare cards. Not to mention Channel Fireball was a legitimate, finishing move at the time. Also, like maybe one more thing, I was a university student at the time, so I didn't have a lot of money to shell out for cards, but it's okay. There we were, the red-green deck. At that particular era, I think the fast red-green favored cards like Curd Apes, Lightning Bolts, Incinerates, Land of War Elves, and Ice Age provided the Orcish Lumberjacks, so you could quickly power up something to come out on the second turn. For my case, I went with the Fallen Empires Org. Gameplay is pretty straightforward. Use the bolts to clear your way for your Curd Apes and creatures and attack as hard as fast as possible. And sometimes use the Fireball as the big finisher at the end. I don't have a full tournament report per se, but that first tournament I did pretty good for a first time entering a tournament. I remember coming in 3rd place, and I forgot how much to pay for entry, but the winning 3rd place was enough store credits to get 3 packs of cards. One guy stood out in that first tournament because I smashed him a little bit hard. He was playing a white weenie deck featuring Crusade, the White Knights, and the White Knight equivalents from the Fallen Empires. It was a best of 3. First game was pretty close. I think I beat him, but the second game I had sideboarding, so I sideboarded in Tranquility to get rid of the Crusades, and I sideboarded in Flashfires to destroy all his planes. And in the second game that I played against him, I actually did both against him and totally rocked him. So maybe I felt kind of bad. Well, only for a little bit. He didn't even have a sideboard, but it's a tournament. There we were. That's my first tournament. I thought I did pretty good. A month later, I kind of got the itch to hey, if I was able to win tournaments, even 3rd place, that's a small infinite loop of positive cards going into my collection, right? So I entered a tournament again the month after. I was playing the exact same deck, feeling pretty confident, maybe because of the past performance. No, not so good this time. And the guy with the white weenie deck, he had a totally different deck. That second tournament that I played them, it was blue-white, and again, I recognized the guy. I didn't recognize the deck, or I knew it was a new deck. And blue-white control deck, lots of dual lands, counter spells, Sword of Plowshares. He was rocking the Sarah Angel, Winter's Orb, Icy Manipulator combination, not to mention Balance and Wrath of God to do board clears. I was so shocked in the span of a month Like he has totally like changed up the deck to a place that I no longer recognize, or maybe it's just a brand new deck. I mean, it went from like white weenie to blue white control, so that's um that's pretty good, I guess. And then as for the rest of the meta, like there's a lot of like black discard, which is like kind of tough to play against at the time. Hymn to Torahs, Hypnotic Scepter. Uh, it's just, this card is just hard to fight against. So back to my red green deck, like it's going to be difficult to play competitively and constructed, you know, without like getting a lot of like rare and expensive cards. And like I was a poor student at the time. I couldn't justify pouring money into opening boxes of cards. Sure, I could open a pack here and there, but even if I had the money, it's hard to like justify doing it. The thing was, I was thinking of myself more of a player and less of a collector. I didn't even think about the collectability or rare card considerations at the time. I wasn't greedy about power levels. I just wanted to go and play. And so at that point, I decided that constructed was no longer for me. As a like tournament player, like I would make constructed decks to play for fun, but like competitively, no. I would still go on to play the occasional seal deck or draft tournament here and there, or buying the occasional packs. So that was then the era of Mishra's Game Factory, and probably a decade after playing those tournaments, I was moving from Vancouver to New York, and as a readiness for making the move, I sold all my cards to a card shop. It was not so much to earn a profit; it's more about taking care of loose ends, right? I suppose I could have left the cards at mom's house, but like I don't know what would happen, so I'd rather have that taken care of in its natural ending. So that's the nostalgic Magic the Gathering story for me. No particular takeaway, no particular insight, just me thinking about the more innocent days, like that magic, literal magic of opening the starter deck and seeing all the new cards. I remember like one rare card in that first deck was the Island Sanctuary. But anyways, there's that certain feeling that I had opening the first packs, opening the first decks. It's like, it's a really, like literally a really innocent time for me. And I could never go back to that innocent time. Like, sure, I could open other cards, other games now, but it's just the feeling, that feeling back then, like I'll probably never get that feeling again. But maybe in my own way, with my own project, I'm trying to recapture a little bit of that feeling, like making a card that I've never seen before, I've never played with before. Like now I can do that for myself without spending an arm and a leg and, you know, burning up a forest of cardboard for no good reason. Hey, did you used to play Magic the Gathering or some other card games and you no longer play? Maybe you got some nostalgic memories of you know, playing, or your early days of playing. Anyways, that's just me retelling the story of my red-green deck to remind myself like what it was like. And you know, it's kind of comforting for myself to think back to those days, and yeah, it's good. That's it for this week. Thanks for the views. Thanks for the subs. I'll see you next time.